Big time.
Dinosaurs.
1, 2, 3.
Dinosaurs.
Can you say it's Daniel Sloss? I need say it like this into the microphone. So
Dinosaurs.
good. One more time. One more. Can you say it's Daniel Sloss?
Dinosaurs.
There we go. Good job.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream, cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Hello everyone. It's another solo episode because I don't have any friends and Kai is still on tour. And also there was some positive feedback to the solo episode. And I love the sound of my own voice, so this is what's happening for now. I think I should start off with a little bit of self-love advice, and I can ask you this, Matthew, because this happened a while ago. Can't remember if I've spoken about it before, but I didn't realise it was weird, and I don't think it's weird, and I think it's people who don't do this hate themselves deep down. Did you ever flush halfway through a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, self-love, man. Like the reason poos stink, apart from everything that happens in your body, is because you're just sitting, it comes out, right? Then you're waiting for the fucking second train to arrive. Meanwhile, first train, still at the station, just stinking the fucking place. Get rid of that bad boy. What are you doing? Just fucking steaming your own arse like a bow bun, just with your own fecal matter. It's not right. It's not a good thing to do. I regularly, the second that first plop happens, flush away, we're back to a clean toilet. Now, is it good for the environment? No. Every time I do it, I take a day off of my kid's future, right? But I weigh that up with how many of those days I want to sit in the smell of my own shit. And I brought this up in my group of boys, being like, I think this is an act of self-love. And they all said I was weird, right? They all said I was a freak. It was normal to like flush halfway through. But look, my shits don't take the longest time unless I want away from my family for a little bit. You know, when else am I meant to catch up on the internet? But I just, yeah. Also, if it's a particularly bad shit, and this is very rare, but sometimes you do a shit where afterwards, you know, you need a shower. A bad shit is like good sex. You need a shower afterwards. So sometimes you're like, there's only one thing that's going to get rid of this. And it's covering myself head to toe in shampoo, which is a privilege that women don't understand, I guess. Well, I mean, you could if you were logical about it. But, you know, as men, shampoo goes everywhere. You wash every part of your body with it. Except those freaks that wash their legs. Don't get what you're about. What are you washing your legs for? Water goes down, washes everything off. Who's smelling your legs? Stop washing your legs. You can wash your legs in a bath, can't do it in a shower. That's weird. That's fucking weird. Girls can wash their legs in the shower, but only if they're pissing in the shower. And that's because there's obviously a direct stream down there. I don't know any women that piss in the shower, but I'm not ignorant enough to think that none of them do. You know, I piss in the shower. Therefore, as a feminist, women are allowed to piss in the shower. But they don't have the advantage of aim, do they? Right? That's why I think they don't enjoy pisses as much. Women will never know the joy of pissing up against a wall. I mean, they will, but they can't decorate. You know, it's more, when they do it, it's more Jackson Pollock. It's just fucking whatever happens on the wall there. When I piss against a wall, it's a bit more artistic. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's my self-love advice of the week. Flush halfway through taking a shit. Just stop. Stop lying in your own. It would be like coming in your own boxers after a wank and just be like, yeah, that's good. I'll just sleep on this. What's there to worry about? It's my cum. It came from the inside of my body. Nothing wrong with that. Wake up the next day, we Poppadom boxers. No, thank you. Not for me. I'm a man and I respect myself. It's hard to know what to talk about next because I've got one of those opinions that many people have. But whenever you come out with it, people are like, oh, that's bad. You can't have that. See that fucking CEO that was shot, assassinated? Couple of thoughts. One, saw the video. Dope. He's a father. He's a husband. People loved him. Sadness for them. Empathy. But ignoring all of that stuff just from me. Never thought I'd see an assassination, man. Like, and it was, that doorman did nothing. That doorman did, I don't know if you've watched the video. Don't watch the video. It's a man losing his life. And we shouldn't be able to watch that. But Elon Musk bought Twitter, so fucking here we are. Guy gets out of his car, doesn't look like an assassin. All the movies lied to me. I've never seen an assassin with a fucking backpack on. Like, I've watched all 3 John Wick movies. At no point is there a backpack with a fucking thermos on his back. Right? I'm not saying the assassin's wrong. Must get thirsty. You know, it's cold in New York. He's got a jacket on. He's not got easy access to his ammo like John Wick does. He's got a big fucking parka on. Probably keeps some stuff in there. I get it. He's there. He comes out, shoots the guy. Guy falls over, dies. Doorman just leaves the door, abandons his one duty. Which, don't get me wrong, I mean, I would. If I saw someone get shot, I'd get out of there pretty fucking quick. But, would I or would I freeze? Knowing what an absolute pussy I am and how unconfrontational I am. Yeah, I'd probably just be like, nice shot, man. Real good. I'd probably try and get the assassin on side. And then there's so many... Right, first of all, writing words on the bullet casings is fucking psychotic and wild and amazing. And again, awful, tragedy. Man died. Man who didn't need to die, died. All of that, sure. Fucking writing the words of what insurance companies use to deny people health insurance and then shooting him with that is fucking wild, man. That's unbelievable. Like, this is movie shit. And man, and I know people are like, it's the similar line in humanity at the moment where those cunts died in that submarine and all of the left went, like, you know, very rarely does my heart bleed for billionaires. Do I include Bill Gates in that? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know he gives a bunch to fucking charity. He's still a billionaire. He can't have done that ethically at any fucking point. Getting assassinated with your fucking mantra is what that's the opposite of affirmations. Like, you wake up in the morning, you go to the mirror, I am worthy, I am loved, I am kind, I am beautiful, go to breakfast, have a fucking meditate, go to a bunch of meetings, deny people insurance, go have some dinner, and then get shot in the fucking back with your mantra. Wild. Night and day, literally, between the start of the day and the end of his, life, I guess. I read a little bit more because I was like, obviously, whenever you're not immediately sad that someone dies, you're like, I should probably do some research to find out if I'm psychotic here. And I could be. You know, I lean left, less so nowadays. And not because of anything I've done, but just the left just keeps fucking going, man. They don't stop running left. There's no, a lot of the time there's no too far. There's no too far. They're practically around there high-fiving the fucking Nazi at this point, looking at me being like, you've abandoned us. And it's like, motherfucker, I've stood still. I've stood still for 10 years. You kept fucking off. I've not abandoned anyone here. I understand that the left is as hypocritical and as biased and can be as hate-filled as the right. And I understand this is probably a point in my life where I should have more, like, empathy, or at least reflect on my lack of empathy. And maybe I will in the coming days, but so I saw an assassination. That's awesome. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like this is who I am. You know, this is the internet. My son's going to be on that one day. I don't want him seeing any of this shit. I don't want him having these opinions, right? This is why I have to have these opinions so that I know how to correct him in the future. Oh man, and he's dead, right? He's dead. Yeah. I loved all the police being like, we've got nothing to go on. I'm like, you got I mean, I understand it could be like a false flag. Like, you write down the fucking mantra to throw them off the set, and that's just a guy that owes you money. He fucked your ex-girlfriend. He cut you off in traffic. You do some Googling. Psychotic. I mean, that's how I'd do it. That is what I would do. If somebody cut me off in traffic and was a wanker about it and I wanted to kill them, I would then work out who they are and then try and throw them off, everyone off the set. Kill them, but leave a bunch of clues to like make people be like, there's no way. There's no way that was that fucking psycho Scottish guy in traffic. Nobody would kill someone over that. This has to be deeper. And I would give them the breadcrumbs they needed to arrive at some other innocent person whose life I'm about to ruin, because I would be currency in prison. You know, we got to save all innocent lives here. Do I think also, because I can't remember, was it you or Dad that was telling me that somebody did a graph of like before the French Revolution happened, the wealth distribution, like in the arc of like how much of the rich had all the money and how little of the poor had the money compared to now. That arc is at the fucking same point. So maybe this is the time where instead of it just being a French Revolution, like it's a worldwide revolution and people just start killing billionaires, which... Like, I'm against murder. I'm against murder. Don't kill people. Uncool. Dick move. Right? I'm also against billionaires. Uncool. Dick move. You're going to film it? I get to see I do wonder now if this is where like another one of my stances change, because I've long like just not against guns in America, but like the standard opinion of like, just do more background checks, lads. That's all we're asking. Just maybe don't give AK-47s to people who walked out of a fucking hospital 2 days ago. Maybe we just, you know, it's for people over the age of 25. It's like a driving license. You got to do a test, right? Everything registered. Just a bit more. I understand you love guns. I'm not going to take that away from you. Don't fucking bring out your don't tread on me memes, but just a little bit more. And even most right-wing people agree with this, right? Of just like, come on, let's get a little bit more in place. But that's because only so far the psychos doing mass shooting have just been killing cunts I didn't want shot. They're killing people in church. They're killing people in synagogues. They're killing people in, what's the Muslim one? Mosque, thank you. Should have known that. Favourite restaurant in Edinburgh's Mosque Kitchen. You bad man. Don't do that. Don't kill kids. Don't shoot kids in schools. That's not cool. Don't know how many times we have to fucking tell you. Mind you, speaking of kids getting shot in school, so I'll come back to killing billionaires in a bit. And I guess this is just further proof that I am a bad person. So I bought the new Oculus Quest 3S, and it's the new VR, and it's good, right? There's a great game called Dungeons of Eternity. It's proper D&D. You're in there. It's got like good, like you got an axe in one hand, you got a sword in the other, and if you run the sword up the haft of the axe, right, it doesn't get beyond the head of the axe. Like it stops the sword. Like it's awesome. Like that, just in terms of like physics and stuff, I'm like, that feels real. You got to duck, you got to weave, you got to get out of the way. It's a challenge game. Really enjoying it. I'm loving VR. My friend also has a VR, and he gets motion sick. So he's not having the best time. So I was like, right, instead of doing this game, we're moving around a lot. There's lots of like VR worlds. There's meta worlds where you can go in and just do things. And one, we learned a lot of things. One, the metaverse is just filled with 13-year-olds. It's 95% 13-year-olds. And we didn't do ourselves any favours because there's a VR in there, a room called VR High School. And we're like, let's go, but let's just see what the VR High School is. And some people are like taking the roles of teachers. I guess the idea was like 300 people would go into this world. One person would put on the music teacher hat. One person would put on the fucking math teacher hat. They've got people playing the receptionist. These are all people. There's no computer people in the game. It's all people in the world. And like they ring the bell. Everyone's got to go to class. There's a cafeteria, all this stuff. And we're in there. So obviously the first thing we do is go to our lockers and pretend to take out guns and just start shooting up the fucking school, right? Which doesn't work as well because it is just as the only thing there's no guns obviously in there. Very unrealistic American high school. So we're just doing it with like finger guns, which kind of took the sting out of it, I guess. And we're going around and be like, beep, 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 I'm sick of being bullied, and really just regressed. Really just regressed as human beings. Like, and this happens every time new technology comes out. Is it's like, oh my God, I wonder what amazing thing we're going to do with this. Dicks and racism. We might get to the moon with it later, but I'm telling you straight off the bat, it's dicks and racism. When there's a great game back in the day called Spore, right? And it's like you started off as a tiny little amoeba, and it was like that fish game where you got to go around and you got to like eat things, and you can become like a bigger amoeba. And the more you eat, you then got to add like different type of like fucking shapes to your amoeba. And then you got to a point where you evolved into a fish, and you got to design the fish, and then you're swimming around the ocean, and you're eating other fish, and you were designing. And then you eventually went on land, right? And you went through all the evolution stage, all the way up to the space age where you could fly to other planets, right? And meet other fucking aliens, right? And they were like, we have given people pure creative freedom with this, right? 99% of the designs of these creatures were dicks and boobs. Go on YouTube right now and type in Spore on PC and just look at all the walking swastikas, the walking dicks, the walking tits. Some of them made a vagina. Do you know how hard that is? I don't know anyone that's made it. Oh, my wife has made a vagina. She didn't have anything to do with it though. She grew it inside of her. God did the rest. And I just like this is why like NASA did the right thing, right? NASA developed all of this amazing technology, right? And they're like, we're going to use this to get to the moon. And they were like, hey, do you want to give any of this stuff to the public? And they were like, under no circumstance. No way. Absolutely not. We're going to find the top 0.1% of people, right? Train them up and then give them access to all this amazing stuff because only the top 1% of people are not going to make dicks, pussies, and racism out of this. So we're in VR, which is just for everyone, right? And it's all the people that are on Facebook. You have to have a Facebook account. So it's scum. It's pure scum, right? And we get on there, we go to a boxing gym in it. And the number one rule in the boxing gym, in this little world, all around the place, is just no N-words. That's it. That's the number one rule. Then it's no bullying. Then it's no harassment. Then it's no screaming. Then it's no like, oh, don't ban people for no reason. No N-words. Everywhere on this wall. Every VR room we went to, there's a custom rules on the wall that the person who made the world gets to create. In every single one of these rooms, number one rule, do not call people the N-word. Now, don't get me wrong, great rule. Great rule. I am so for that rule. But when you create a world and you have to ram that rule down people's throats every 45 fucking seconds, maybe get rid of that world. Right? Maybe we're just not ready for it. And I'm not innocent in all of this. I didn't say the N-word. That's not what I'm saying. I did not say the N-word, right? I was gonna, then I saw the sign. And I'm not, hey, look, I might be racist, but I'm not a rule breaker. No. The anonymity of the internet needs to change, right? It's got to go. You're not allowed to be anonymous on the internet anymore. It's banned. It's not allowed. No way. Burn the dark web to the ground. And on the regular internet, you are not allowed to have an account on anything, right? Any social media, unless your driver's license and your home address and your face is in that fucking screen so it can all come back to you. And I say this as someone, when Xbox Live first came out, I was about, I think I must have been about 12, 13. When did it come out? 2003. Right. I got one of the first ever, my user handle was Danny S. Danny Space S. I got that gamer tag. That's how early into online games I was. That Danny S was not taken. I must have been like the fourth person on it. I'm 13. I've got no empathy. I'm playing Unreal Tournament. And I'm playing with Americans for the first. It's this amazing bit of technology. For the first time ever, I can play online with people I've never met before, and I can communicate with someone fucking 3,000 miles away. And do you know what I did? I told him I was glad 9/11 happened. Why? Because he couldn't get me. And that was it. I just said the worst things possible just to wind these Americans up, just to get under their skins and piss them off because they couldn't get me. Anonymity, maybe this is how you become more right-wing as you grow older. Mind you, I guess the right-wings in America, they want anonymity, don't they? They're full freedom from the fucking government. God, where do I stand? Big news today. At midnight this morning, the fifth Brandon Sanderson Stormlight Saga book came out, Wind and Truth. And I've read the prologue, which blew my fucking dick off. Oh my God. So much stuff in that prologue. Come, yum, yum, yum. Get it all in my eyes. Very exciting. They did that thing where they were like, on audiobook, it's 27 hours long. And even though I like Michael Kramer, who I think is the one that does the audiobook, and go and find out the broad's name. It's Michael Kramer and someone else. They're both excellent. I'm just being sexist for the sake of being sexist, which I guess I should stop doing. But, yeah. They're both...
Kate Redding?
That's it! Kate Redding. But spelled reading, which is what she's doing. She's reading and speaking out loud. Good name. They're both excellent. I've listened to the audiobooks before. Not doing it this time because I want to read. I want to get fucking distracted. If I'm listening to an audiobook, my eyes can look elsewhere. If I'm listening to an audiobook, I can see how much I'm ignoring my family, and that makes me feel guilty. Whereas if I'm reading a book, because I'm so engrossed, they're completely out of my periphery, and it's fucking guilt-free. I'm just there. People are like, you're being a bad dad. No, I'm not. I'm learning about the Parshendi. Very excited to read all of that, get more into it, lose my fucking mind. Reading it, 46 hours long. 2 days. 2 days of solid reading. So, if I can finish that by Christmas, one, I am a big gay loser, but I knew that anyway. And then I think I've just ruined it for myself. Because then, like, the second Stormlight Saga is going to come out in, like, fucking, 2 months, whenever Brandon Sanderson knocks into the book. But he's already said that the next series contains a lot of lift. And if you've not read the Stormlight Saga, Lift is one of the worst characters in all of fiction. She is unbearable. She is poorly written. She is annoying. She is shit. She's the Phoebe Buffet of the Cosmere. And there's people out there being like, but I loved Phoebe. I bet you did, you fucking loser. The whole next bit's going to be based on her. They're doing not even a spin-off. The next fucking phase is about, like, she's just so fucking bad. And I know people who read it will be like, Lift's my favourite character. That's because you're not funny. That's because you're not funny. You think Lift is funny because you've never said anything funny in your fucking life, right? So you don't have anything to compare it to, right? You're sad and you get all of your happiness and jokes from fucking people who are funnier than you. Hello, that's me. That's who I am. Brandon Sanderson has openly admitted that he doesn't watch or understand stand-up comedy. He thinks the funniest person that ever lived is Terry Pratchett. And let me be clear, Terry Pratchett was a fucking dweeb. Was a fucking loser. I know I've ran about Terry Pratchett on this podcast before, but every single one of his books is just somebody that was handed a joint that wasn't a joint at the age of 16 and then just pretended to be high and what they thought being high was. That's who he was. That's what every single book he's ever fucking read is. There once was a man who was born on the ocean and his feet were made of snow, but his head was made of fire. And he said to the moon one day, come down and make me the right... Who gives a fuck, man? Who gives a fuck? Like, I can't believe that's who Brandon Sanderson's favourite author is. Blows my fucking mind, right? That'd be like my favourite comedian being Milton Jones. That'd be fucking insane. You'd be like, what? Imagine fucking Anthony Jeselnik, the greatest to ever do it, came out and was like, I'll tell you who's the best, Carrot Top. Carrot Top is the reason I got into fucking comedy and became the deadpan king, right? The most arrogant motherfucker in the entire world, right? Unbelievable. Jimmy Carr coming out and being like, I gotta tell you lads, I've done 15 specials, but for me, Nanette, that's the one. It just doesn't vibe with me. I don't fucking get it. Hello everyone. Thistly Cross Cider have been kind enough to sponsor us again for, we're coming up on a year. And it's December. It's the perfect time to buy booze for your friends at Christmas. It's the perfect time to buy booze if you are hosting. It is perfect. Hey, you're going to have a fucking office party. I guarantee you'll be the coolest person there if you come in with a crate of these. Go to thistlycrosscider.co.uk. Use the promo code ThistlySlossDecember for a 10% discount. That's across the UK. Hopefully, they'll get big enough to start doing Europe and America and Australia. God knows they should. The rum cask is their best flavour out at the moment, and I say this as someone who loved the whiskey cask for the longest time. This stuff is so fucking good, and it's red, and that's what Santa wears. This is the Christmas cider. thistlycrosscider.co.uk, promo code ThistlySloss10. You'll be doing us a favour, you'll be doing your friends a favour, and you'll get some great fucking cider out of it. I realised on the last podcast, I also... I said I was going to update you on my life, and I didn't. So here that is. Still not doing stand-up. And because this is the first time I've not had just torrential amounts of gigs in the future, like an upcoming tour or whatever, right? The other opportunities are arising. Other opportunities, like before I would be like, I can't fucking do that. I'm on tour for the next 17 years of my fucking life. So... I've got to do some really exciting things, none of which I can tell you what they are, but I got to do a little bit of voiceover work the other week. That was fun. That was really good. I enjoyed that. And every time I do one of these things, I come back and I smugly tell my wife, I'm like, and how does it feel that you're now married to a voice actor? And she's like, you're a real actor. You've done acting. I'm like, yeah, but this was with, just my voice, which I guess is a downgrade, It feels like you were on TV and they were like, hey, we loved some of that. And none of it was the bit anyone could see. Well, we have a problem with you visually. Your voice, great. But also, even though your voice is great, change it and do an entirely different voice. That's what we want from you. And I did that and it was good fun. I got like 2 writing projects on the go. Stuff for TV, which is really exciting because I've never given a shit about it before. I just fucking hate the process. I hate the process of like coming up with an idea and then finding someone to write it with, and then you have fun writing this fucking project together, and sometimes you disagree and then it all dies. Or sometimes it goes a little bit further, right, and you pitch it, and then somebody who has never set foot in a fucking comedy club before and does not understand anything about comedy apart from how much money it can bring in, goes, I don't get it. And you're like, I know you don't get it. That's why you're on that side of the fucking table. I don't understand how accounts work, right? That's why I have an accountant. Can we all stay in our fucking lane here, right? Don't come to me and be like, this is what I think your fans are interested in. You don't know what my fans are interested in. I don't know what my fans are interested in. I get it wrong all the time. I regularly go, like, do you like this shit? And they're like, ew, no. And I'm like, okay, well, time to lose you. How dare you tell me which direction to go in? I'm going to double down on this and go fuck yourselves. And that's how we end up with specials like fucking Hubris and whatever my last show was called. Can't was my last show. This project, one of the writing projects I'm working on, will be the fucking end of me doing anything creatively if it doesn't happen. Like, I love it so very, very much. Like, I've never been passionate about any script I've ever written. I've always just like done it because it felt like something that you have to do in this job. Because like most stand-up comedians, you end up in TV and then fucking movies, right? Bill Burr, one of the best to ever do it. Fucking love Bill Burr. So good, right? Starts acting, he's in Breaking Bad, goes off, gets his own cartoon on Netflix, still doing stand-up, but he's in like fucking movies and shit. It's the logical progression, right? And that started from fucking Richard Pryor, fucking who's the fucking Eddie Murphy, like all of the fucking great black comics from like the 50s onwards. Like amazing stand-ups, groundbreaking comedians, and then TV, movie, films, and then occasionally they go back to doing stand-up. I've always not wanted to do that because I like fucking stand-up, but then you have a family and you're like, oh, if I do this trip, I can actually just stay at home, So I don't know if it's just because having not done comedy in ages, stand-up, like the creative part of my brain needs something to do. And this is like a really good outlet. And not that I've learned everything that there is to know about stand-up, because God fucking knows I have not. But like, it sort of felt that just going down the same route every 2 years of write a show, preview it, tour it, bid it, write it, preview it, tour it, bid it, just that circular motion. I was like a NASCAR driver, right? I know how to turn left. I've nailed turning fucking left. I've done it 52 fucking times. I'd argue there's only 200 other comedians that are good at turning fucking left as I am. Now, I want to fucking turn right? I want to be an F1 driver. I want to, go off. So I've been really enjoying this process. The writer I'm writing with is so fucking good, and I'm learning lots because, like, I don't know how to fucking write sitcoms. I don't know how to write stories. Like, there's more transfer than I thought there would be. Because, like, obviously, stand-up, and especially my stand-up, is storytelling in a fucking way. But, like, writing in scripts is different from... You can be a really good fucking painting artist, right? But, like, if you go into sculpting, there's an entire new dimension that you weren't aware was there. And you've got to, like, learn that extra bit. That's what I feel I'm doing now. And really enjoying it. And I'm really proud of it. And if it doesn't get commissioned, then somebody, several people high up at a certain network station in America are going to be assassinated outside of their hotels with just quotes from Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm just going to completely throw people off the... and I don't know how to etch the words mentally ill people say onto bullet casings. I'll find someone who can do fucking calligraphy and translation. It's been a while since I've forced myself to listen to Joe Rogan podcast, which I have done. Elliot Steele will occasionally be like, you should listen to this guy who's going to go on and talk about aliens. And then you go on and it's just the biggest moron you've ever heard in your fucking life being like, they could be here. And here's a picture of a frying pan somebody threw up into the sky 45 years ago and nobody's explained it since. It's a frying pan. Well, we've all got opinions. That happened about 2 years ago. Elliot was like, there's this documentary that some guy on Rogan was talking about. You got to watch it, Dan. You got to fucking see this. Irrefutable fucking evidence of aliens. Somebody threw a plate up in the air and took a picture of it with a grainy camera. And all of these people, from Joe Rogan to the guy, be like, how can you explain that? And you're like, the danger of your influence is fucking terrifying, man. Always has to come back to Rogan. Oh, yeah. So the idea that I'm working on, that's real good. Got some other stuff I'm doing. I mean, look, if this doesn't happen, then that's when I'll go to stand-up, because the dream will be dead and I'll hate the process so much that, me and this immensely talented writer, we've worked really hard on this project and it's really good and it's funny and it's dark and it's horrible, but it's got heart and not seen much like it on television before. And the people who we're pitching it to, they seem really on board. They seem really on our side. It really feels like it's our ball to drop and we're not dropping the ball, right? They want it to happen. We want it to happen. So if it doesn't happen, it's because of bureaucracy. And that's when I'll just throw the biggest fucking professional tantrum of my career. I'll throw all of the toys out the fucking pram. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going back to dick jokes on the fucking road. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I cannot be broken again, right? There's only so many times you can be rejected by one gender before you go, fuck it. Time to be gay. And that's how gays are made. But it's also how gays are cured. I think... that bit I was going to go down doesn't work, because obviously the insult and the wrongness in there was suggesting that, like, if enough men reject you, then you just become a fucking lesbian. And then I was going to twist it so that it wasn't homophobic to be like, and then if you're gay and enough men reject you, then you go back to pussy. But I've never met a gay guy that couldn't get laid within 45 minutes of wanting to be laid, because that's the advantages of hitting on men. Like, they're just, imagine just fucking hitting on someone as horny as you all the time. I got lots of gay friends because I'm so fucking woke. Because I'm so woke. And because they let me say the F word. And it's bad, just the sex stories that they come out with. Being fucking straight compared to being gay. And I wonder if this is the same for lesbians. I should have more lesbian friends. But, you know, I don't do MMA. So where am I going to meet them? You know, I don't know where the nearest woodworking shop is. I don't have calloused hands. I don't know where to meet them. I'm not into skateboarding. I don't even know lesbian stereotypes. I can't even do this fucking bit. Like, I can give you all the gay stereotypes because I live with my gay friends. Do I know any lesbians? I must know lesbians. Oh yeah, of course I do. Zoe Kumar. Oh, what am I talking about? One of my closest friends is a lesbian. I just forget that she's a lesbian because she was straight for ages. And then she dabbled in pussy and she never went back. And hey, I get it. Which is why I think we should ban lesbians. Gays I'm fine with. That's not taking anything off the market. But if girls knew how much better other girls were at fucking them than we were, that's the end of the human race. That's when I get. I'm not, look, you can get married. I'm not against same-sex marriages. I'm just against. Maybe this is when I suddenly become pro-bi. Not that I've ever been anti-bi, but also I just don't believe that you're persecuted in the same way that gays are, right? Every time I see bi people on a march, I'm like, get to the back of the fucking line, man. You get to be in front of the pansexuals, and that's it. That's it. And people are like, but there's biphobia. I'm like, yeah, there is. There's also still homophobia. Back of the fucking line. But you can put on a disguise. You can go back to it. You're not repulsed by pussy or dick. You love both. Back of the fucking line. That's where you go. And guess what? Back of the line with all the other bi people, right? You'll have fun back there. Start kissing each other, fucking frigging whoever you want, all of you, just bumming each other, not caring what hole you go in. Pansexuals, too awkward to make their way around you. The Pride March is getting too far away. I don't want to, too much sex. Also, pansexuals, what are you doing on Pride Marches? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's sexual celebration. What are you doing there being like, I don't like anything. Get the fuck.
That's asexual.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, pansexuals. Came at you wrong. It's almost as if I'm ignorant as shit. Who's the pansexuals? They're attracted to everyone.
Yeah.
Pansexuals, you're still at the bad. You're in with the bisexuals. Asexuals, you freaks. What are you doing? What do you mean nothing interests you? Come on. I reckon you're pedos. I reckon I don't mean that. That's now we're going down. Just me being mean. I just don't think you belong on the marches, right? Wait, asexuals? What are you doing on the Pride March? Just be like, yeah, none of this, fucking none of it interests me. Like a bulimic going to a food festival. I just don't get it. Mind you, I guess a bulimic maybe that's the ideal place for them. That's my ignorance on bulimia. God, I'm just being offensive for the sake of being offensive now. After the last solo podcast, Matthew came back in and was like, I think it was good. My girlfriend think it was really good. Maybe we should make it a public episode. I don't think me losing my mind. So I'll tell you what, though, it's been nice not to be fucking interrupted and have my jokes rolled over. That's been nice. Also, if you're wondering how Kai's doing, I've got no idea. How many podcasts has he done?
He's done 2.
I've listened to neither of them. I texted him once 2 nights ago being like, you need to get the VR. when you get back. And he's like, I will. And I was like, good, that's that. And then I've not really asked him how it's going. And that's not because I don't care, but just because in my head, when I was on tour and my friends who weren't on tour messaged me, hey, how's tour going? I would go, fuck off. I'm on fucking tour. Leave me alone. I don't want to think about my life I have back home that I'm missing. Head down, get me through this. So it's not just being a neglectful friend. It's also in my head. I'm like, hold on to it. Because I had another friend in a similar fucking vein. I had a friend who lost a family member years and years ago. And they were like, and I didn't send them a message after their family member died because they were grieving. And there's nothing anyone can say to take away the pain of grief. And then like I met them 3 years later and they were like, you didn't message me when my fucking family member died. And I was like, yeah, you, man, I fucking, what were you doing reading your text? Like, and you meant to be at a fucking funeral? I don't know. Maybe that is insensitive. But in my head, if any of my family members dies, you don't have to fucking text me. I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to fucking care. I'm going to be crying and drinking. Come round to the house, say fucking hey, be like, hey, put down that bottle of whiskey, and then watch that bottle of whiskey smash right 2 inches to the side of your head, because how dare you tell me to live my life while I'm grieving? I don't know, maybe I just don't reach out to people because they reply, and then you're in a fucking conversation, which just brings me to not my best friends, but like, there's people in my life who we message once every 2 months. And I'm like, that's ideal. That's the perfect friendship. Hey, how are you? Good. And we give long updates, right? Because it's been 2 months. So it's like real updates. This is what the kids are up to. This is that. I really enjoy that aspect. I think that's a better way to catch up. Me and Bart Freeburn, spoken about it before. It wasn't until Cal Wilson, amazing Australian comedian, died 2 years ago. Felicity Ward, another amazing Australian comedian, not dead. She was best friends with Cal Wilson. When Cal died, one of the things that Felicity said in one of her many beautiful sentiments about Cal was that her and Cal would send each other just silly voice notes all the time. Like saying how much they loved each other, but also just being dicks to each other. And like when Cal passed, that was a great source of like relief for Felicity to be able to listen to. It was to go back and like hear her voice being silly, saying all these fucking nice things. And for all the people out there that fucking hate getting voice notes, like I get it. It is like, hey, I can't be arsed texting, so here's a stream of consciousness that you just have to listen to. It's a one-sided voice of a one-sided phone call that you just have no interaction with. I get your problem with that, but you do get to get instant revenge on that. You do get to then just have a one-sided conversation back. I think that's really nice. I look forward to when Bart Freeburn dies, and I have hours upon hours of him telling me exactly how much I love cum and what holes I love cum in and how much I drink cum and all of the very clever ways he's called me gay and all of the clever ways he's described how much I love taking dick in my ass. I think that will bring me great fucking relief if he dies before me. And I've got no doubt that if I die before him, he will feel great relief of all of the really, really awful stuff that I will never repeat that I have said to him in return. And then I'll skip the bit where we talk about fantasy novels and comedy and, you know, actually catch up with each other. I'll just listen to the fucking verbal abuse. Yeah, still, even solo, no fucking mic technique. How long are we done? Oh, great, cool. Well, in that case, we definitely got another fucking 10 minutes. Any questions? No? Solo podcast? All right. I wonder, maybe I took notes of things to say on the podcast. I feel like I might have done last week. And not much has happened in my fucking life since.
See if there's anything in the Discord.
No. Just more my wife thinks, a lot of people in my life think I'm a fucking psychopath. Just because, like, I don't back up. I don't back up stuff on my phone. Just because I can't be fucking arsed. I don't know where the cloud is. I don't want another password to log in. I take photos on my phone, and then when I get a new phone, I mentally say goodbye to all the photos in that phone. And I'm just like, well, any of the good photos, I'm sure I will have sent to people I love. Like all of my photos of my kids, my wife has, because I took them. Well, I mean, she takes 90% of them. But any of the good ones I took, I sent to her, and she backs everything up. So they're there. I very rarely transfer fucking data over between phones. I much prefer the, like, this phone's dead, cool, out the fucking window. Brand new phone, oh man, that's annoying. None of the apps I have to distract myself are on it. Oh well, now I just have a fucking slab, a useless fucking slab. Though I do get jealous because Kana's got the Time Hop app because she's a 47-year-old boomer. And it is really nice to, like, have, like, every day she'll show me what Caitlin was up to a year ago. Like, what size he was, and, like, what he was doing. And that's really nice to have. And people are like, well, you could have that. And I'm like, I do. My wife does that. Look, if neither of us did it, one of us would have to fucking step up. But because of my toxic incompetence in the aspect, Cara backs up all photos so much, and gets them all done. Oh, there's a question for you. Unless there's any questions from the Discord, Matthew.
What, sorry?
Have you sorted your Christmas present for Kirsty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing Christmas presents?
Yeah.
Every fucking year, my wife.
We had a budget of £100 because we wanted to save money.
Yeah.
And
£100 is still a fair fucking work, yeah.
But I knew she wasn't going to stick to it, so I'm already at 200.
Oh, really? Great communication.
I just know she's not. She could not stick to 100.
Yeah. My wife is exceptional at buying presents, and that used to be all for me. There was one Christmas, 2019, where she did, instead of like one big present, she did like 24 fucking days of gifts, right? Which was wild, right? Some were small, some were cheap, some were nice, but they were all thoughtful as fuck. Every day was just something nice and amazing. And I did the typical man thing of like, oh, you put lots of thought and time and effort into that gift. Allow me to throw money at something and pretend that's the same amount of effort. Can't remember what I got her, but I'm sure she loved it. And then we had kids. And all of that energy has gone into our kids, which is not a complaint from me. That's where it belongs. That's where it should be. I want our kids to be like us and love Christmas, right? Makes me very sad when people don't like Christmas, because everyone who doesn't like Christmas has a really sad backstory, right? It's never like a choice. It's like shitty family, shitty time of year, loneliness. It's never good. I get very sad when people don't like Christmas. My mum, all through our fucking childhood, if there was anyone in the neighbourhood who didn't have a good Christmas, she would always invite those people over for our Christmas to share Christmas, because, you know, if you can cure someone's hatred of Christmas and dislike of Christmas and bring a little bit of fucking hope back, it's great. So we want to just keep doing that. My wife's putting all the energy into getting our kids presents, and for the past fucking 3 years, this bitch keeps being like, this year we're not doing Christmas presents. And I'm like, shove that thought directly up your fucking arse. We are doing Christmas gifts for each other. I never want us to not give gifts to each other. Even if it's budgeted, which I think is a great idea, even if it's small, even if it has to be something that you got to fucking make, I always want us to give each other Christmas presents. Because I sway between absolutely fucking nailing Christmas and going too far, or shitting the absolute fucking bed. Like, I think it was the 2019 Christmas where she bought me all those thoughtful things. I bought her, it was going to be like, I think we were going on the trip to Bali, which is obviously spenny. And then tickets to go see the Book of Mormon, because she hadn't seen that. And then a bunch of like little stupid gifts of just like in-jokes and stuff. And then COVID happened. So I got her fuck all, technically. Bali didn't happen. Book of Mormon didn't happen. It's all those shitty gifts. Didn't really make up for that. And then I think then my birthday, she threw, I mean, I can tell this now because fucking lockdown's over. My wife threw a music festival for me in our garden, where like fucking only 16 people turned up, and they were arm's reach from each other. It was about 50 people, 50 of my friends in our back garden for a fucking 3-day massive bender at our house with fucking bouncy castles and silent discos. And then I think for that birthday, God, I think I got her like a pair of Uggs or something. I was really shit. I had 2 stinkers in a row. And then I acknowledged it. She wasn't upset. She was just like, well, I guess he's shit at presents. And then that was worse. Her having the expectation of me giving her shit presents, that made me feel like shit. So I did the typical man thing of I overcorrected. And I was like, send me a list of ideas. And she was like, great, here's a list of ideas. And then come Christmas Day, I'd bought her all of those. And she was like, well, that's not what I fucking meant. I meant one of these things. And I'm like, well, doesn't that make up for the past 2 years of shitty gifts? And she was like, no, it does not. This has actually annoyed me further because now you've spent way more than you ever should have spent on me at one time when you could have spread it out over the years. Women logic. It's women money logic. So this year, she bought a Ninja Slushy machine. And those sold out so fucking instantly. So instantly. And do you know why? Because Ninja fucking Slushy allowed people to buy 2. 2. It's not fucking Oasis tickets. Who needs 2 fucking slushy machines? Are you running an Odeon? It's 1 per fucking customer until you tell the fucking people in Thailand to make more. And while we're at it, while I don't agree at all, right, with child labour laws, right, and like going overseas, right, and paying people fuck all in your sweatshops to make things. If you are going to do that though, make more. Now, I don't know if Ninja does have Google that. Do Ninja have sweatshops? I bet they do. Where's all their stuff made? And don't trust what they say. Find out what country it's made in, and then I'll make a racist stereotype in my head about whether they have sweatshops there. Because I'll tell you, when they call their company Ninja, I'm going to give you 1 clue as to where I think that company's from, based on purely racial stereotypes. Ninja. Correct. That is where my mind went. Go on.
Can't really find anything. There's not.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask ChatGPT.
Well, that's the problem. Like when I was looking it up, Google gave its AI overview, and it was like, "Oh, Nike has sweatshop concerns."
Yeah,
Didn't type in Nike. They're made in China.
And
yeah, I mean everything is.
Hold while I just Google China human rights and see what's up. Yeah, and I was right. Yeah. Just make more. My wife wants a fucking Ninja Slushy machine. Why are you selling 2 per customer? Nobody needs fucking 2, right? That means I can now buy 1 for like heaps of fucking money on eBay from the cunts that you let technically get a free Ninja Slushy machine and 250 quid. You didn't. That's all you've done, Ninja. That's all you've done. If you allow people to buy 2 Ninja Slushy machines, somebody buys them for 189, right? Right, and then they sell it on eBay for, I don't know, 500-600 fucking quid. Now they've made 420 profit. Oh wait, 420 profit, nice. All right, I respect it. If it's drug reference, I respect it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, you've played me again, Ninja. That's twice you've broken my fucking heart.
They have a code of ethics, but so does everything.
Yeah, I fucking bet they do. Oh, wait, hold on. When you say Ninja has a code of ethics, do you mean the company or actual ninjas? Because you could be confused there. Because I reckon ninjas have a code of ethic, which is no throwing stars in the balls. You can slit someone's throat, 100%, absolutely fine. You can stab someone's daughter to send a fucking message, but don't be throwing stars at balls, man. That's a dick move. That's not. And that's also a South Park episode, actually, now that I think about it. Fuck, nothing's original. I'm not original. Oh, watch Dance Think Jessel next new special. Real good. real good. Don't know if it's his best. Like, I mean, it's so many of the jokes in it are up there with his best, but I think Anthony's at this exceptional stage in his career where, because his writing is so important and because he's just perfected this on stage persona and this enviable arrogance, which I love, the ability to, after a fucking gag, to turn the mic away from your fucking face and to just, you know, put your fucking gun down on the table, throw it away. Like, that's always a symbol of power for me in stand-up comedy. To like, you're laughing so much and you're enjoying this so much. I'm going to take the one thing that gives me power over you, which is this thing that makes my voice fucking bigger. And you could come at me. You could do anything. You've got the opportunity to break the illusion, to, you know, to see us as equals, and none of you fucking take it. He's even pointing the mic at you to be like, fucking, you can have it. Nobody, love it. I think he's, you know, he's absolutely one of the fucking greats. I love this Norm Macdonald story at the end. I thought that was fucking superb. But because of his persona and because of the fucking arrogance, now, I just feel like his special is 5 jokes shorter than it normally is. Because, like, not that he was ever fucking gag, but like, and not that he ever rolled over the audience, but because he was trying to prove himself. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's the whole thing. You know, not that he's not fucking hungry anymore, but he's got the luxury of time and fucking patience. So I guess I am congratulating him for it. None of this is, I don't know, I guess it's just as a fan. That was the other thing. Kai was talking about a while ago, the YouTube channel of, what's it fucking called? Something to do with comedians, where they break down a bunch of fucking comedians. There it is. Comedy Without Errors, one of my favourite YouTube channels. Just this British guy who expertly breaks down comedians and comedy specials. And if he were to ever come near any of my stuff and I was to get the YouTube notification that he talked about any of my stand-up, I would kill myself in front of both of my children to save myself from the shame and the fear of his incision-like critique. I love him. He breaks down really bad specials. He breaks down why specials are really good. He's just great. He's got a bit of a hard-on for James Acaster, which makes me sad, but nobody's fucking perfect. He did one on John Mulaney's last special, and I was so happy because even though I love John Mulaney, I had problems with that special. And he said it all, which is, there was there was very little real John Mulaney in Baby J. To go through that public a fucking breakdown, to leave your wife, who you spoke about adoringly for 4 fucking specials, for Olivia Munn, and then have a kid with her immediately, to not mention any of that is wild to me. And this goes into the Comedy Without Errors, goes into a great thing of like, you know, maybe we're the problem of, we want comedians to like bare their fucking souls too much. And I get maybe that is me wanting him to just be to like suffer pain in front, not suffer pain, but to like be open about the pain and to bare his fucking soul. And then to be fair, in all the interviews afterwards, John Mulaney was like, I'm just there to make people laugh. And don't get me wrong, he did. Baby J is a great fucking special. It's funny as fuck. John Mulaney is leagues ahead of me. So but I don't know. I guess it's just, it's like the special that Louis C.K. did after all the stuff that came out about him being a fucking creep. You know, not only was I disappointed by his actions and what he'd fucking done and who he turned out to be, but I was also really disappointed with the special afterwards, because for a man whose entire career was owning his fucking shame and going on stage and talking about how shameful and gross and awful he was and just really opening that to the audience, to then have the ability to go on stage after all of the fucking creepy weird shit that you did and then own that gross stuff and explain it and somebody who has the ability, the craftsmanship to be like, this is why what I did was wrong. This is why what I did was gross. This is what it says about me as a human being. And I think this is why I acted this way. And this stems from this. Could have been a really fucking interesting special. But instead he just came out and he was like, I think the kids who fucking complain about getting shot at the Parkland thing were a bunch of dweebs. And you're like, oh man, I missed the fucking mark. That fucking stank. I just feel similar sort of, obviously less creepy related disappointment from the Mulaney special. None of that from Anthony Jeselnik, I just think. I just want more Anthony Jeselnik jokes. And there's no way that cunt's not doing 75 on the road. Give me it fucking all, baby. All right, well, yeah. It's the end of my... Man, I can't believe fucking people have enjoyed that. If you have, that's wild. Thank you. I mean, I enjoy it, but that's because I'm a narcissist who loves the sound of his own voice. And it's nice to fucking talk. I mean, this is like, deep down, this is what I wanted therapy to be when I went to therapy, which is just me talking while being paid myself without the therapist giving me advice, I guess. Which I guess is my job as a stand-up, actually, now that I fucking think about it. But this isn't what I like about stand-up. This is a laugh-free fucking environment. So it's like one of Kai's gigs. No, I'm not fucking... He said nice things about this. He was like, hey man, really loved the solo episode. And there's me being like, hey man, I wish I could say the same about you and Connor's episode, but I've not listened to them because I'm still catching up on Critical Role. I tell you what, I'll get a guest for next week. It'll be Cullen. It'll be fucking Cullen. Gareth Watt has a baby due soon. Very exciting. Will I be the godfather of that kid? Godfather of the other one? Huh? Have I done enough in these 2 years to be godfather of this one? Who knows? Oh, we'll find out. If I'm not, questions. Oh, most fucking importantly, Thistly Cross, the great, joyous people at Thistly Cross have been kind enough to give us a December coat, right? Which means enough of you fuckers bought this stuff or they're throwing it away, which I can't believe because this is the best. The code for December is Thistly Sloss December. This is the perfect month to buy it. The roads are icy, so you shouldn't be out in them, right? Just stay at home. Oh, Daniel, I've got work. It's fucking December, man. No, you don't. No, you don't. Everyone's shutting up for fucking Christmas. Stay at home. Get drunk. I can't come into work today. It's snowing. I live next door to you. It's not snowing. You're at work. What would you know? It's a snow cloud right above my fucking house, you wanker. Stay at home. Get responsibly drunk. Buy this for friends. If you've got any friends that like fucking cider, you want a wee fucking stocking filler? Hey, leave one out for Santa. I guarantee you this is what Santa wants left out, right? He wants a cookie and he wants a Thistly Cross cider. thistlycrosscider.co.uk and using the promo code Thistly Sloss December will get you a 10% discount. This is my last of the rum cask, so I'm going to go myself onto the website after this and order myself one of these because that's how much I fucking love it. So, cheers.